Hey, what's up? It's Sidney Smith, national touring comedian, filmmaker, and podcaster. And if you enjoy all things entertainment and unfiltered conversations, then you're in the right place. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Join us each and every week and have a great time. You may be able to speak more to his time in office, obviously, than I can possibly.
Damn, you call me old?
No, not at all. You just, you were here before. But take that part away, because people have their feelings about Jimmy Carter.
One way or the other, yeah.
That dude was a great man.
Yeah. This is when you say your legacy.
Yes.
That is...
Yes. Him and his wife both.
Yes. Just everybody was like, yo, they were good people.
Yes.
Really good people. Above everything else, they were good people. People in the town are like, listen, they would come and sit and just talk and, have conversations about everything. So... And doing everything for other people to the very end. Yes. He was 100 years old.
But he was still homes of...
building homes. I think
what's the name of the
home, Habitat for Homes?
Yes.
Yeah, Habitat
still
for
out there
Humanity.
swinging hammers.
Yes. Jimmy Carter.
He hadn't been in the White House in years, but he was still flying overseas trying to negotiate peace and all these different things because,
that was him.
Even though you're not in the White House, that still carries a little gravitas in certain areas.
Still, he was the president of the United States, and people, they know that he can make phone calls or people are going to listen. He got connections. Like if I call the White House, they're going to be like, "Who are you?" Yes. So you do have some weight that you can pull around. And he was just, again, people loved him and liked him because he stood for what he stood for, and he stood 10 toes down, as they said.
Absolutely. So I wanted to bring this up not just to talk about Jimmy Carter, though God bless the dead, rest in peace. A great man, not a great president, only to some, but a great man.
Yes.
A lot of us can only look at that as an example and try to chase it on the type of person you should be. The other part I wanted to talk about was while I was sitting here trying to get some things done for the show, I had YouTube going and I was clicking around because I wanted to get it from everybody's perspective. Mm-hmm. MSNBC, Morning Joe's perspective, who I'm not a fan of theirs anymore, but I said I want to get it from everybody.
Yeah.
So MSNBC, CNN, and Fox.
Okay. Yeah, you got to get the whole complete.
Yeah, I wanted to get it from all three of these goofballs. Yeah. And so the one thing I'm always fascinated by is when something like this is happening and they're all talking, the talking heads are speaking while they're watching. They just talk over the top of each other. Yes. And that always cracks me up. But Fox News, I just have to share this. I don't know who the woman was, but she says, "Can you, do you know how they decided the order of how the people were going to sit?" And I could only think that this woman had a hard time in like second or third grade. Because if you're just watching this,
it's in presidential
order. In order of...
It's in presidential order.
What is wrong with this woman that you had nothing else to say? You just had to ask a question.
Because it's always, well, how come he has to sit there and why isn't he sitting front? This is where he fell.
It's in order of.
Yeah. The current president, the last president, the president before him. It's not that difficult.
Well, so there was a couple of humorous things for me while I was watching this. And then there was some moments where I was enraged. All right. And I was enraged because my man, President Barack Obama, had to sit next to Trump. And you want to talk about, all I could think about was being the only black guy at a dinner party. And somehow the person that nobody wants to talk to always ends up sitting next to you, talking your ear off. Trump was talking Barack's ear off. And I'm sitting here trying to get my work done, but I can't take my eyes off these two, even though the camera is getting everybody.
Yes.
No, Barack is chuckling with them a little bit. Like Barack knows how to play the game. Mm-hmm. So when
he's been the only black one in the room, so he knows how to.
Exactly. So Barack came in, he shook hands with Gore, Mike Pence, Dan Quayle was there. Either his or Gore's wife was sitting there too, with all of them. Never shook hands with Trump, but he sat right next to Trump and he opened up whatever you guys know, the little book that you get when you're not the obituary. I mean, I think the obituary is in there, but he opens it up and kind of leans in and starts showing something to Trump and they're chatting about that. But after that, it's all Trump and just like chuckling it up in his ear. Barack is rolling with it.
Mm-hmm.
When the George Bush comes in, George Bush walks in on this end and walks right past Trump and Melania and Barack and doesn't shake hands with Trump or anything. Says hello to Barack and then says hello to everybody behind them and then takes a seat. Never says anything. The Clintons come in. The Clintons could have came down this aisle, but she walked all the way around the front and came and sat. Then Kamala came in with her husband, came around. She was supposed to sit in this seat, which would have put her about 2 o'clock to Barack and Trump right here. I think she saw what was happening and shifted her husband in front of her and made him take that seat and never wanted to make eye contact back there. So it was just crazy to kind of watch
the what do they call that? Physical.
Yeah, just watch the moves and how everybody treat. I know if Pence had his way, because when Trump comes walking down, Al Gore pops up right away and shakes his hand, and Pence is sitting right next to Al Gore. So now Pence has to stand up and shake his hand. Yeah. I know Pence would have motherfucker.
Just make him and shake your hand.
Sit your ass down. What are you doing?
He's trying to get a job. He don't like climate control, so you're not getting a job. So I don't know why.
But you and I were talking about it. It is, not to overuse this word either, fascinating to watch these people who've gone back and forth, said all these different things about one another. For me, and how I feel about the man. Trump has said some of the most disgusting things when you talk about Barack Obama and you